This is running a little better, but 2D games should not be that big a problem running on Dreamcast. Take you for a ride. Wanna take you for a ride. Wanna take you for a ride. Wanna take you for a ride. Hey, do you suffer from psoriasis? Well, I've got a solution for you. You should try out the new shot Skyrizi. No, wait, I'm not a medical person or a commercial spokesman. Hey, Deadheads, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, we're going to take a look at the just released new Diium, the second offering from this rebranded SD handheld. This is the 2.8-inch model that's running a Rockchip 3326. And so going head to head with the Miyoo Mini, since it's the only other vertical one, can this one keep up? And is it a surprise of the year? Well, Deadheads, I think you're going to want to stay tuned here because this one's a little surprising. Anyways, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our content. Anyways, let's hop in and start. Okay, guys, so I won't mislead you here. I don't have a lot of faith in this. The brand, the SD whatever, has produced handhelds that we have reviewed, and they have all just really been overall poor, to be just honest. The D35S was just terrible because of the CPU they used, the software they used. The D008 was the first of their new rebranded Diium, I don't know, branding. And so the only reason that I had any hope for this is that we have yet to really see a true competitor to the Miyoo vertically at the 2.8-inch size. We have plenty of 2.8 handhelds that are horizontal, like the Miyoo A30, but this is the first one that has really kind of come out that has a chance for it. So let's get this thing unboxed and look at it. And you know, the packaging has that same game console type thing, mini size, quad core, TV output, 10 simulators. It looks, you know, like the D008 did, sorta, with that transparent blue. It does have the game console. This is interesting. I like how the box is like this, so it probably lifts. That's pretty cool. So we do have 4 colorways. We have transparent black, white, transparent blue, and transparent purple, and we went with the blue. And so here it is on the back again. This is a 2.8-inch, so it is a mini. It is running the Rockchip 3326, so we know what this will do. It'll do up through PS1 fairly well. It'll do some Nintendo DS, and then you might sneak in a little bit of Dreamcast and maybe some low-end N64. But this is really going to do... Now, the one thing is that this CPU can do shaders, and the Miyoo, you know, doesn't do that. So that is an advantage here already using that. And we like the 3326, even though it's been in a lot of handhelds. We know what it can do, and it should support some custom software. They have a sticker here, model D-28S. From there's that Diium Electronic Technology. And then weirdly, again, just like the last one, it's saying it was produced in 2022. Now, I don't think they were sitting on these things for 2 years. Maybe they were. That's stupid if they were, but I think that's just something wrong right there. So I think it's gonna flip open, and let's see. Yep. Oh, okay, flips open. That's pretty cool. The power of the game console is low after receiving it. The battery power may drop quickly or return to normal after charging for a few hours and waiting. So that's kind of nice in case you get it and the battery has drained here. So this is a little sticker on the cover here. And oh, okay, guys. So first thoughts. This, and I don't have the D008 anymore. I sold it off. This looks better. This plastic looks better than the D008. And when I saw this design here, I thought I would hate this bezel design. And I was wondering if it was just a sticker. So let's see. Let's get this out of here and see if that is a sticker. And nothing below that. We do have a cord here. And let's see if there's anything below here. Probably a manual. Yep, there's a manual and some wipes, but there's no screen protector. So either I got gypped on the screen protector or they just stick wipes in there. Okay, let's see the Diium user manual, model DR28S. So R36S, this is an R28S. So I guess that's what they're going, the D for Diium. So maybe there'll be some more of these coming out. So here's your specs. Here it is, 640 by 480. It's the Rockchip 3326, the Mali G31, 3 DDR3L, 1 gig. It does have a single speaker, 8 ohms. Battery is 2000 milliamp hours battery. So that should be good, 4 hours. Yeah, charging time, hour and a half. So slow charging, not gonna charge fast. Nothing surprising here. Here are some hotkeys. So Nintendo DS, game data folder. What's this talking about? Open Tyrant, PPP, SSPP. So again, trying to run PSP on the 3326 is an interesting prospect. Really, PSP Minis is all that's going to run on this. So that's kind of a stretch here. And then they got N64. So anyways, take a look as always. And we have the orange. So the orange USB cord there. Maybe at some point. This is the Rockchip 3326, so there is no Wi-Fi. So no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, any of that. I did pick this up at the price of $40. I just saw that the price has already dropped to $32, so pretty good price. Oh man, first feel in the hands is I like it. Oh, wow, okay. So let's see. Is this a sticker? Come on, be a sticker. It's not a sticker, guys. So it's some kind of laser etched onto glass design around the bezel. I can't speak. Oh man, I think I'm gonna hate this, but I don't know. So let's see. Let's do a hardware test first. Let's try the buttons. So a little bit loud. And it doesn't look like they're connected though. Let's see here. Oh look, yeah, they're not. They're not connected, so that's pretty good. At a $35 to $40 handheld, that's nice. It's hard to see here, but the select and start button and then an escape function button right there. And that's probably the light to show when it's on. And then it has all of these little designs and everything, and a really big D-pad. So I'm kind of glad. I hope so, if this D-pad's not crap. So let's see here. Oh, nice. Good pivot for your Street Fighter. Oh yeah. Okay, guys. I like the D-pad. This reminds me of the D-pad on the Powkiddy V10. I want to say it's real similar to that. Yeah, it's reminding me of that. So the Powkiddy V10 D-pad is what I would describe this as, is what it feels like just in this initial testing. On the bottom here, we have our USB-C and headphone jack. We have a TF-OS slot here, our volume rocker. And then we have our second TF slot. We have our reset button and our power button. And nothing on top. And then we have these triggers, and oh, look at that, guys. So they're offset a little bit like that. That's interesting. They do stick out pretty far. Kind of been better if they could have somehow made that a little less, but I don't know. I kind of like that. And then again, here's our label, the Model DR28S. And then there's our battery cover with a nice design. So this thing has a lot of design language, and I kind of like it. Not gonna lie, I'm sort of liking the design language. So from a hardware perspective, the only thing that I'm real iffy about is this etched design around the bezel. Come on, I keep thinking maybe I can peel something off, but it's not. So it's light in the hands. It's going to be pocketable. This could be a problem. This is sticking out just far. I don't know why they can't come up with something flatter, but I don't I don't hate the way it's stacked, even though it's next to each other. It feels good, guys. You know, a little over a year and a half ago, I picked up a handheld called the R36S, thinking it was going to be e-waste trash, and it surprised me. And you guys know, you've seen me talk about it on the podcast. You heard me say on the podcast, you know, that I've been looking for that diamond in the rough, that gem, and I don't know. Is this going to be it? Let's keep doing some testing. All right, so let's boot it up and see what we have here. Get the little button. Diium! So a little light came on. Okay, so the bezel, guys, it gives it almost a floating, almost a 3D floating thing. I kind of, oh, Miyoo Elec, my enemy, at least it's better than the stuff they had on there. So we're stuck with Miyoo Elec, which is not terrible, horrible. It's just not my favorite. But I gotta say I'm digging the bezel, guys. It's kind of making it pop. And this is a really good clear screen. Look at that. It's a very good clear screen. This is just 640 by 480, but it looks really sharp. And so everything here, I'm not going to do a lot of testing here because we know the CPU. We're just going to test some of the stuff that and here's our setup. So yeah, this is pretty typical Miyoo Elec. Let's see what version of Miyoo Elec we're running. We're running 4.7, so that's somewhat new. Again, no Wi-Fi, but we can test the Wi-Fi dongle and see if that'll work. In fact, let me get the Wi-Fi dongle real quick and see if that's going to work. Okay, so I can confirm that I could not get Wi-Fi working. I don't know if it's my dongle or if it's just the system isn't set up to do it, but no Wi-Fi, guys. But other than that, it does have some Nintendo DS, which would be probably the newest system. I don't think they even put any. They have some Dreamcast on here. Now, this is, like I said, this is not something that I expect to play very well. But let's try some Dreamcast out on this and see how it does. Oh, and I saw an error there. Loading a game. So running in RetroArch. Now this bezel is interesting. Again, guys, I'm a little surprised here. It almost makes it, and I don't know if the camera can pick this up. Yeah, this is going to run like crud. I don't know why they put Dreamcast on here. Guys, put a 3566 in this if you're going to do Dreamcast. And that sounds terrible. Listen to that. I don't know what's going on with that speaker, but it sounds awful. It's right there, front facing. Technically, I guess if it'll load, you can say it plays a game, but guys, we know the 3326 is not meant for Dreamcast, really. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It won't even... Not a good start, Deadheads. So I don't know if it expects an analog. Donald Duck may expect an analog. Let's see, we have, please have RetroArch. Alright, we have RetroArch. So at least we have that. Controls. So, I don't know, let's take off that. Okay, so I'm going to say that this, I don't remember if this particular game probably requires analog. Let me play something that I know doesn't. Do they have, here we go, we'll do Marvel vs. Capcom. Now again, AGME, so some errors here. Again, if we can get if we can get Arc OS or Rocknix on this, yes, please, because I just don't care for this. I'd even take Battle of Sarah. All right, let's see here. This is running a little better, but 2D games should not be that big a problem running on Dreamcast. Take you for a ride. Wanna take you for a ride. Wanna take you for a ride. Wanna take you for a ride. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna play Marvel vs. Capcom fine. Okay, yeah, I think Donald Duck probably just... Yeah, I'm pretty sure Donald Duck required the analog, and there's no analog, so... Get him, Ryu. Okay, D-pad feels good. It does feel good. Yep. So, technically it can play some Dreamcast like any other Rock Chip 3326. Oh, Guile. Speaker is kind of not great. I guess so far the speaker is the biggest thing I don't like. And hopefully maybe it's just this one particular speaker, but it's just not that good. All right, so let's get into the what I liked and what I didn't like section of this and do a little comparison to the Miyoo. Okay, so obviously this is wanting to compete with the Miyoo Mini, which has been such a remarkable device. You know, this little guy right here, when it came out, was very difficult to acquire for a long time. Now this is V4, this isn't the original version of it, but you can immediately see that if you're looking for size, that this is quite a bit larger than the Miyoo. They are running a 2.8 screen on both of them, but this one is going to give you a little more size. Now I know there's some people that have really large hands, very tall people, that maybe this was a little too small for, and maybe this might appeal to it. But just to give you a comparison side by side here with the Miyoo, so you can kind of see the differences between the two for it. So quite a stark difference, even though this still feels really nice. Again, they would have been much better off going with this sort of more flatter style back here. These are, I like them, but they stick out, and that makes the pocketability just a little too much. And the other thing, we went with the 2000 milliamp battery. If we're going to make this bigger, you know, how come we wouldn't just go ahead and give it, you know, maybe a 2600 battery for longer playtime? So as we wrap up this video, obviously this is the competitor that they're trying to outdo. Like the R36S came out and attempted to replace the Miyoo Mini Plus or RG35XX as that 3.5 inch size. So let's talk about the things that I did not like about this. So overall, I do not like the software. I think it's been pretty clear that EmuElec is not a software that I totally prefer. I do prefer it to all the other junk out there. And so, you know, the D-R28S had that awful, terrible software. This is a little bit better. And the fact that they're using the 3326 means hopefully we can get some custom firmware up and running on this. The speakers, are also, or speaker I should say, is also a bit of a disappointment. I'm finding that the speaker and the sound, as I do more testing, and I've done a lot more playing off video here, the speaker is really a weak point to this overall system. So the software and the speaker is definitely two of the things. And the third thing again are these shoulder buttons. I find myself being so used to the Miyoo and this more sort of flat sort of, which is much more pocketable. You can see here, it's just much more pocketable. So I will say I like the way these are kind of, these outside ones are lower than the inside ones. That gives a good feel when you're on the back, the grip. So there's some things I like about it, but overall I think it's just a kind of a unfavorable weakness to it. Now let's talk about what I did like about this thing. And the first thing I want to talk about is this bezel. I expected to hate this, guys. I really thought I was going to hate the bezel, but the more I use it and play it, this screen is crisp. I love the screen. It's vibrant. It's crisp. The old man said, wow, he could see it even though it was small. So this is a very good screen. And the way that they did this with this laser etching and the way they put it on here, it actually makes the screen pop out. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's almost a semi 3D effect, and I really like it. I know people hate branding. It does say D-R28S there, which is interesting because it says D-R28S elsewhere, so I don't know which one is which for it. But if you hate the branding, but maybe, I mean, this is something different, guys, and we're always looking for something different, and I kind of like it. So I think the screen is fantastic, even with this bezel, even though I didn't expect to like that. I like the larger D-pad. Sometimes on my Miyoo, the D-pad is just a bit, I don't know, small. I do like especially for fighting games, I like the flexibility I have with the D-pad here versus the Miyoo. And the buttons are good, so the hardware is really good. I love all the design elements. I love the textures. I like the type of plastic they use. The old man hated the plastic, but he hates all plastic. I like the see-through color of it. This is better than D008's plastic. I wasn't real impressed with that one. This one just looks better. It feels better. It just seems better all around. I'm happy we have 2 TR slots. I'm really digging the design language that's on this thing, especially now that I don't hate the bezel. So can this, outdo this? Ultimately, no. I still think the Miyoo is a superior product, unless this thing can somehow come out for much less. This is still a better pocketable handheld to buy for most people. This is the best handheld that this company has put out. I will say that. It is absolutely the best. It is in many ways similar to the R36S and how it surprised me. And if they continue to iterate this, they continue to support this, if we get custom firmware, then this is going to be a solid choice, especially since it's already dropped in price to around that $35 point, and the Miyoos are still up around $45. I think if you want to save 15 bucks, if this goes on sale for $30 and this is $45, you need to save 15 bucks. This is not a bad choice. It's not better than this, guys. Hear me clear. This is still superior. This with Onion OS, everything about this, even though you can do shaders here and you can't do shaders here, everything else is better about that. So yeah, guys, this is my initial unboxing and look at the Diium model D-R28S or D-28S, whichever one it actually is. Color me surprised, guys. So let me know if you pick one of these up. There's way too many handhelds, and that's part of the problem. Had this come out last summer, if it was really made in 2022, which I don't think it was, if it had come out then and went at this, it would have been more of a contest. But if you decide to check this out, guys, it is an alternative if you don't like the Miyoo for some reason. And yeah, I don't hate it, guys. I kind of like it. Anyways, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised, deadheads. We'll see you next time with some more unboxings and reviews. Dead Fred out.